Now what we're going to do, or Derek's going to do, is he steps back. It's this fumikomi step. Notice he's on the ball of his foot, heels up, and notice as his foot stomps, now think about this, guys. When his foot stomps backward, that's when he pulls, okay? So there's a correlation there. When he hears that stomp, it means I pull, like that. And when he stomps and pulls, he quickly turns his hips. Because the whole purpose of this is to get your hips turned quickly. I want my hips turned very fast, so I can get in front of him and I can throw him, and I'm going to shave all the time off that I possibly can. I want a quick, explosive movement here. Derek's leading with his right foot. He's going to be doing right on his, doing right. Okay, got the right side. So he's leading with that right foot. Okay, that's, we always call it the sugar foot here. We welcome that because it's kind of a sweet foot out there. Kind of, I kind of tempt him with, I could maybe foot sweep him or something, or do something stupid. But I'm leading with that foot. Okay, we were just talking earlier. In Japanese, this is called the dayashi, the forward foot. Okay, like a dayashi barai, advancing foot or forward foot sweep. That's what this is. So it's the dayashi. So that's what it is. This is a lead foot. But again, we want to start with that foot because you want to start out right and finish the technique right. Okay? So we're going to get that there. That's the lead. He's doing a right-sided throw. He's doing right lead foot. A friend of both Don and I, Harry Parker, a great friend of ours, a great judo man, he taught me, he said one time, he said, lead with your hips. Always lead with your hips. Well, if you're leading with this foot, what's the foot connected to? Your hip. I'm not doing this. I'm not leading this way. I'm leading with my hip. Okay, so I can quickly turn. The foot is directly underneath the hip. And if you remember that, again, I want to get that fast hip action. Okay, that's the key thing here, guys. And we're going to do something. It's very old, and it's called a fumikomi, or stomping step. Okay, it's a back step. So what it'll look like is I'm facing this way, and I'm kind of leading off. There's my partner. There's Derek right there. And it's a back step into it. See that back step? Now, the quicker I can do this back step here, see on the toes, and then quickly turn, I turn my hips. If I take a really long time to just do this, he's already gone. I've got to be able to turn my hips and get in front of him so I can load him up for a seoinage or a hip throw or a taiotoshi, uchimata, whatever it may be. But this fumikomi action is really an important one. And if I get this back step, okay, if I can get this and quickly turn, and it's not two movements like Derek and I were talking about. It's not me coming in and doing, just like stomp and stomp. It's really kind of one move, back step, and look, see. And then back step and turn. But I've got to get my hips in front of him quickly. Can you do me that? And it'll end in any forward throw. Now let's parse that out. So he's leading, he's sugarfooting here, leading here. With his back leg, he's just going to step about. Okay, let's turn around so we can get this move. Keep turning for me, guys. There you go. Now watch that back step. See that back step? Now, as that back step comes in, he starts to lift with the hands. He's pulling. Okay, so now he's controlling with his upper body. Now, all this action will help him be able to turn his hips very quickly. The quicker I can turn those hips, the quicker I'm going to turn. Okay, so let's look at it again. He back steps and he turns quickly. Now let's put it together. Okay, back step, very quick turn. See that? And the quicker you can turn, the better. Now, let's think, can you turn into taiotoshi? Okay, so it turns into a taiotoshi. There you go. What we want to do is shave that time off getting into that taiotoshi. I don't want him to be able to see anything other than a blur on your feet, because if you can get that back step, that fumikomi, okay? If you get that, quick turn, and you've got to have that first, and then you can launch him with whatever forward technique you want. And it's one of those really subtle but really important things we do in throwing someone forward over our bodies. Okay? Can you do it one more time? Watch the, and turn on, see, watch his back step action. Back step, see that? You turn. Now, when you get that back step in, be sure you're on your toe. Don't just flag, because it limits your movement. Okay? You want to be able to just do it stomp. And I remember when I used to teach this to kids, I would say just, it's your stomp foot. And it really is. When fumikomi means to stomp on something. Okay? And that's what you're doing. You're doing this stomp. Now you can start from any position, but generally if you have a slight lead in your hip, so if he has a slight lead with his right foot, right hip, he can get in quicker with that fumikomi. Okay, and as he does that, now watch the hand action. Okay, lift it. Oh, there you go. See that? See, whoa, that really takes him off balance, doesn't it? Now this time he can put it together with his taiotoshi. See how quick that is? You got that, because that makes it look like, because it is very much what you're doing. When you're coming in, say on the taiotoshi, when you're coming in with that back step, you're lifting him, and by doing that, when you turn, you are now under his center of gravity as well. Let's look at that one more time. So I'm going to have you guys practice this, okay? So watch when he comes in, and as he steps in, he starts to lift. Now, see, he's starting to lift everything up and forward. He's creating a nice cavity here, okay? And when he goes ahead and shoots in, he's ready to toss it. Okay, so let's look at it one more time. Is this just fumikomi once or twice and throw it? See that? See the hips? We get those hips and pull in at the same time. We could use any throw, but we're using taiotoshi here because it's a very good example of how you need to get the hips in. Does it make sense to everybody? It's a real old basic concept, but fumikomi, stomping, it's a back step. The quicker you step backward, the quicker you turn your hips, the quicker you're going to throw them forward, and pulling all the time. All these things in action. And it's difficult to learn this stuff. These are basics, but you can never stop learning the basics. And these are basic skills, but I've been around doing this a long time, and I'm still finding this fascinating, you know, and we just can't get better at it. So let's do that, okay, guys? Now, what we're going to do, or Derek's going to do, as he steps back, is his fumikomi step. Notice he's on the ball of his foot, heels up, and notice as his foot stomps, now think about this, guys, when his foot stomps backward, that's when he pulls, okay? So there's a correlation there. When he hears that stomp, it means I pull, like that. And when he stomps and pulls, he quickly turns his hips. Because the whole purpose of this is to get your hips turned quickly. I want my hips turned very fast so I can get in front of him and I can throw him, and I'm going to shave all the time off that I possibly can. I want a quick, explosive movement here. So what the drill is this. He's going to do 10 uchikomi, and he's going to be a good firm partner, okay? And then on number 11, he will throw using taiotoshi. We're using taiotoshi in this specific case. In a moment, we'll be doing uchimata. But let's look at taiotoshi. So turn. Okay, we got the fast turn. Okay. There you go. And just quick turn every time, okay? Now, when you're doing this, any grip here you like. Now, Derek is shorter than Big Jake here. We're about the same size. Now, if I want to use this hand here as my surite, my lifting hand, that's fine, okay? I like to, when I did this drill, I would like to grab around the side here, the back. So when I'm doing this drill, I can pull him this way, okay? So it depends on you. If you want to use the fumikomi action, the standard judo fumikomi action, where you're lifting this way, fine, that's great, okay? But any way you do that, when you do this, you want to get that turn in there, pull, okay? So let's look at, then we'll. Now, one thing I do want to mention also when you're doing this drill, and we've been working a lot on getting the hips in and the back foot in, the stomp foot, the fumikomi and all that. This hand is important. This is really old school stuff and it's important. Everybody come around here and see this. When he pulls, the old saying, I always told my kids, look at your wristwatch. Now, nobody wears wristwatches anymore. I still do. I guess I'm an old guy. Yeah, the old guys do. Yeah. But he doesn't wear a wristwatch, you know, and he's an old guy too now. But anyway, pushing 40. Anyway, all right. But when you do pull in, when you do pulling, if you're hikite, you're pulling him, this is up and out. And notice his hands like he's rotating, right? All right? And by doing that, he's taking the whole shoulder and controlling it. So that's really important. The hand work is really important too.
Focus on the lead foot, so you're staying off of your heel. Again, it looks like you're doing a lazy uchikomi, but as the back foot stomps, you can see my heel's up, and then you always turn the hip forward, so that when you're coming through, you're always, hips are pointed forward. And that's where you get the explosiveness to hit it when you're slightly off center.
Can you show that? I'm throwing position. But watch the feet now.
And
focus
so
on the feet, guys.
Just the foot part. So step back, boom, he's opened up, and then my hip twitches. And it's easy to not see that part because it's so small of a movement, but it's really important because now my hips are pointed that way, and it's given me some extra explosiveness because I can pop my hips through almost like I'm getting ready to swing a bat or throw a ball or any of those other things. It also gets your hips perfectly in place so that when you go down for the taitoshi or up in the middle for the uchimata, your hips are already there and you're already kind of bent. So it's really important to get that lead leg hip to turn through. Don't back step, lift up, and step down, okay? Because that's an extra movement you don't need. Keep the toes there, heel up, turn.
See, and again, we're leading with that foot. He's going to do one uchikomi, then throw. Okay, so he fits it in one, and he comes out and throws. So the idea is to get that quick turn. He'd do 10 on the drill, and then he'd throw. Okay, that's with taitoshi. Now the second one, this outside foot here, lends beautifully to a back step to uchimata, on a spinning or leg style uchimata. And it's a great way for people who don't know uchimata very well to really learn it. And for those of you who like the style of uchimata, you know it's quite effective. So it's going to be the same thing. Derek's going to do the same thing. He's going to pull as he back steps. It's the same uchikomi movement, same fitting in movement. But instead of doing taitoshi when he throws at finish, he will be doing uchimata. Okay? So say you normally do 10. We'll say you do 5. And number 6, you do uchimata. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and throw. There you go. What focus here? Quick hip turn. Want to shave that time off as quick as you can, guys. A lot of pull. And remember, a good cue for yourself. As soon as this back foot stomps in, you pull. Now also your head, when you're doing this, you're never looking down, are you? You're turning your head, because where your head goes, your body follows. So if I'm doing this, I'm not going to be in good form. I got to be able to turn each time. You notice when he did that, he was turning his head each time. That's what we want, okay? And it's a real simple thing, but again, it's not simplistic. It's just simple and it works. And it shaves a lot of time off your throat.